say something on this disallowed portion of that 125 million, and that was issued by COA, no? Yung 73 million. Doon po ba sa purchase of information, lumalabas po dito that 14 million is the purchase of information, and this was spent for 11 days. So basically, it is 1.2 million per day for the purchase of information. What do you mean by purchase of information? Can you kindly explain to us what is a purchase of information? Mr. Chairman.
Sino pong sasagot? Attorney Camora, please answer.
Mr. Chair, based po on the joint circular regarding the guidelines on COA, confidential funds, purchase of information pertains to those information necessary for the formulation and implementation of program activities and projects relevant to the national security and peace and order.
And with the submission of the Office of the President, or Office of the Vice President, regarding to this 14 million that was submitted by them, you deem it right to disallow the 14 million?
Mr. Chair, 14 million purchase of information. It's not part of the notice of disallowance, Mr. Chair.
The 14 million is not part of the 73 million?
It was allowed po in audit, Mr. Chair.
The purchase of information was allowed?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The only
14 million for the purchase of information, you allowed it?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And your basis is what?
Their documentary evidence of payment.
What are the documentary evidence that was submitted to you, if you have the liberty to say it to us?
Mr. Chair, since it's already on the merits of the case, since it's already touching on the merits of the case, and we can only comment on those that we have submitted to the through the subpoena duces tecum. And since the notice of disallowance is not yet final, we cannot yet discuss on the merits of the notice of disallowance.
Okay, I respect that. So, medyo na-worry lang ako dito sa purchase of information that amounted to 14 million for 11 days. And you have approved it.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, since it's not yet final,
Did you
it's
have
only
this ito na lang po, hindi naman to mag-incriminate sa inyo, no? So, yung bang 14 million, may kasama mga equipments na binili?
ibang item po, Mr. Chair, ang equipments.
So, yung purchase of information is all about information or data that you have gathered that you have approved sa COA?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Congressman Fernandez, if I just make
Yes,
point
yes,
of
sir.
clarification.
Deputy Speaker,
Yeah.
Jay.
May I just be informed as to what type of information was purchased?
Before you answer, Attorney Camora, let me first recognize the Honorable Joseph Stephen Paduano of Abang Lingkod and the Honorable Vice Chairman, Senior Vice Chairman Benvenido Abante. Please continue.
Mr. Chair, again, we cannot comment on it since it forms part of the merits of the case. But I would like to inform the body po that the entire ND is still subject to appeal to the adjudication of the commission proper. These are just the judgment of the auditors.
I do understand the position of Attorney Camora. My question is, what type of information? Kasi sabi po dito, purchase of information. Ano yung anong klaseng information yun? Is it
Mr. Chair, I could only say that these are part of what is required under the joint circular, which is this information necessary for the formulation and implementation of programs, activities, and projects relevant to national security and peace and order.
Okay. I'm just curious kasi ngayon ako nakakita ng item na purchase of information. So anyway, I'm sorry, Congressman Fernandez, and I ate into your time.
Hindi kasi Mr. Chairman, I agree with Congressman DS
Congressman
JJ.
Dan Fernandez.
I agree with him, no? Precisely because if you were going to compute 14 million divided mo sa 11, that is 1.2 million for the information that wanted to be purchased by the Office of the Vice President and was approved by the COA. And that worries me a lot, no? If this information entails, siguro kung mga 4 months yan or in 1 year yan, acceptable yan. But in a day, 1.2?
And if
Purchase of information a day?
pwede po bang isang tanong lang?
Yes, sir.
Yung po bang 14 million na yun na information, sa isang tao lang po ba yun o maraming tao po yun?
Mr. Chair, hindi naman po yun sa isang tao lang.
Okay, just to ilan pong tao? Kung alam lang po ninyo.
I don't have the information right
At
now.
kung magkakaano po kada tao ang binigay para po sa purchase of information na yun? At kung saan po mga area?
Mr. Chair, details na po siya ng audit, so you could we could answer through if we are duly issued po subpoena do Sistecom.
Is there any motion? Do I hear any motion?
Yes, well, I move that ano ba? I move that we subpoenaed the Dusestacum.
The detailed information.
All those documents pertaining to the purchase of information, the detailed information about it.
Is there any second to the motion?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Duly seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Secondly, Mr. Chairman, this is the payment of reward. Sa payment of reward, you utilize 10 million. The Office of the Vice President utilized 10 million. And this was spent for 11 days. So almost 1 million a day for the reward, payment of reward, cash. Cash. Same thing, COA. How this 10 million was utilized daily by the Office of the Vice President. Can you kindly educate me on how this happened? A million a day for payment of cash reward. Was there any news about the cash reward that was given by the Office of the Vice President to any individuals, for that matter, pertaining to this payment of reward in cash by the Office of the Vice President?
Mr. Chair, again, it
Again,
is part of the
it will be a part
merits.
of the documents of the detail.
Although, Mr. Chair, we have indicated in the ND the reason why the rewards were disallowed. They were not able to satisfy us with the
Okay, I'm sorry.
documentary
I'm
requirement.
sorry, Coa. You mean this 10 million is part of the disallowed by COA?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry about it. Oh, so sige. Okay, so disallowed to. Okay. Sige. So have they given you some information on or the detailed information about this payment of cash reward?
They have submitted compliance documents, Mr. Chair. But
Can
we
we-
deemed it not sufficient.
Yeah, go ahead.
We deemed it not sufficient to answer the requirements of the joint circular.
Can we also, in that case, Mr. Chairman, may I move to subpoena also those those documents pertaining to the payment of cash reward?
There is a motion by the Honorable Fernandez to issue subpoena duces tecum with respect to the payment of cash reward.
Ito naman pong
Is there any objection? Is there any second to the motion?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Duly seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Punta naman po tayo sa rental of other incidental expenses relative to the maintenance of safe houses. How many safe houses have the Office of the Vice President have?
Mr. Chair, again, it falls part of the merits. However, may I just say,
Hindi naman
Now
merits
na-
naman yun, Gloria. Tinatanong ko ilan lang yung, para malaman namin. Kasi, of course, merong mga opisina ang Office of the Vice President sa buong Pilipinas. Are those offices that are being mentioned by the Office of the Vice President all over the country constitute also as the safe house of the OVP? Ayan, nakalagay dito. Meron kayong maintenance ng safe houses Do they have like 10? 18, 20, 30, 40?
Mr. Chair, I do not have information right now on...
Can you kindly submit to us also? I move also to Kasi Mr. Chairman, before we move for that, kasi 16 million were... 16 million was spent for 11 days for the Office of the Vice President doon po sa mga safe houses for maintenance. Maintenance of the safe houses, 16 million was spent for 11 days for these safe houses. Kaya nga tinatanong ko po, ilan po yung safe houses na yon at bakit gumastos tayo ng 16 million for that purpose for 11 days?
At kung saan?
Yes, oo. At kung saan yung mga safe houses na yon. So I move that we subpoena also those documents.
There's a motion by the Honorable Dan Fernandez to subpoena the information with respect to the safe houses of the Office of the Vice President. Is there a second to the motion? Duly seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Yung po purchase of supplies which cost us 35 million for 11 days. Madam Gloria. Purchase of supplies, ano-ano po ba itong mga supplies na to? Ito na po ba yung mga chairs, tables, desktop?
Mr. Chairs, part of it po yung table shares that were disallowed. And some of it, naka-indicate po as rewards, so it was also disallowed.
When you say disallow, were you able to get some information who supplied this purchase of different items? Do you have the information about the contractors and the suppliers?
Mr. Chair, based on the joint circular, these supplies, materials, and equipment for confidential operations are not done through regular procedures without compromising the information.
I know. What I'm trying to tell you is that wala namang bidding siya Hindi naman siya
Yes,
nabibidding
Mr. Chair.
talaga ang confidential fund. What I'm trying to point out, Mr. Chairman, is have they submit the supplier or the contractor of those purchase items? Siyempre, may nag-purchase, may nag-supply niyan Kilala nyo ba? Nagbinigay ba yung information about it?
We only received documentary evidence of payment, Mr.
Hindi
Chair.
mo sinasagot ang tanong, Gloria Ang tinatanong ko kung merong sinabit na supplier saka contractor. Titingin ka pa sa likod. Huwag ka na tumingin sa likod. Wait. Ano bang position mo sa COA?
Attorney 5 po, Mr. Chair.
And what is your responsibility in the Commission on Audit?
Review of the audit po.
Ha?
Review of the audit.
Review of the audit. Ano ginagawa ng review of the audit?
Tinitingnan ko, Chair, yung...
So, nakikita mo na. Huwag ka na tumingin sa likod. So, anong nakita mo doon? So, binigay sa iyo yung 35 million na purchase ng goods for 11 days. Siyempre, nakita mo, 35 million, 11 days. Wow! Ang bigat nito, 35 million, 11 days. Sino yung nag-supply nitong mga supply na to? Di ba? Yan ang trabaho mo So,
yes.
sino yung mga supplier?
Mr. Chair, kasi...
Sino yung mga supplier na nakita mo?
sa merits na po kasi...
Oh my
Merits
goodness.
na po
Ang
It's
point
not
po
a
ni
merit.
Congressman Dan Fernandez, hindi ka ba
Hindi,
nagtaka? Yun po yung gusto niyang ipunto. Hindi po ba kayo nagtaka na nagkaroon ng purchase na worth 35 million in 11 days? Tama po ba yun?
Yes, oo. 35 million. Ako naman, kahit ako, mayor ako eh. Di ba nakita ko, nag-purchase ako ng ganito, 35 million in 11 days. Magugulat ako. Ano-ano ba to? So ikaw, bilang ikaw yung parang COA, nakikita mo yan, nakita mo 35 million in 11 days. Supplies. Sino supplier nito? Di ba? Hindi maapektuhan ang merit nito. Tinatanong ko lang kung sino yung supplier. Now, kung binigay nila yung supply, binayaran nila, at nakita natin above board, so what's the problem? Okay. But unfortunately, magugulat ka, 11 days, 35 million for purchase of supplies. Kaya tinatanong ko lamang, sino yung supplier?
Mr. Chair, hindi po ako makapagsabi ngayon ng...
Alam mo, Gloria, nagsisinungaling ka. Don't. Please. Sabihin mo lang kung sino yung supplier.
Sir, ang sinubmit lang po talaga nila is evidence, documentary evidence of payment. Hindi na po yung...
So wala yung supplier.
Opo,
Are you sure?
Opo.
Wala doon sa sinabit sa inyo?
Yes, Mr.
Because
Chair.
we are... we
Yes,
move for those documents a while ago.
Yes, Mr.
Kasi
Chair.
pag nakita namin meron doon, tatamaan ka dyan. Sige ka.
Mr. Chair, ang sinubmit po nila sa amin is yung documentary evidence of payment, but wala po yung mga
Wala yung supplier.
suppliers.
Okay,
po
sige.
nila.
I will accept that momentarily. Okay. Mr. Chairman, punta po tayo dun sa sa provision of medical and food aid. 40 million for 11 days. Again, wala rin yung supplier dito?
Wala din po, Mr. Chair. Kaya part din po siya ng
Did you ask
disallowed
the Office of the Vice President to submit all the contractors and suppliers of all these supplies and the medical and food aid?
We asked them to explain po the...
Hindi, but did you ask for the supplier?
Normally, Chair, hindi po.
Why?
We just do our audit based on the requirements under the
Sige, I
joint circular.
will accept that. But Mr. Chairman, at least I think it is imperative for us to find out the contractor and suppliers of all those supplies that was purchased by the Office of the Vice President. Not because ano tayo, what do you call this? Medyo hindi natin pinupuntirya. Tama. Thank you for that word. Hindi natin pinupuntirya yung mga supplier and contractor. What we are after, Mr. Chairman, is the amount, the huge amount that is what's spent for 11 days. And this is something extraordinary. Hindi naman po siya ganun kasimple that 40 million will be spent on medical and food aid, 11 days. Tapos yung supplies, 35 million for 11 days. Purchase of information, 14 million for 11 days. And ito pa, yung lastly, yung payment of incentives on traveling relative to the confidential operations. How does it work? Paano nagbabayad ng incentives or traveling? Can you kindly explain it to us? Because we spent 10 million in 11 days.
Mr. Chair, they gave an explanation on this po that those are actually rental of transport vehicles related to confidential activities po.
And accordingly, hindi tayo kumukuha ng mga receipt galing sa mga operators ng mga vehicles.
Mr. Chair, ang requirement lang po kasi is documentary evidence of payment.
Okay, thank you so much. With that,
Are you done?
yes, I'm done, Fernandez, sir.
Tapos na po ba kayo?
Okay. Am I done? Okay. I think for the meantime, Mr. Chairman, I'll be refraining from asking more questions, considering that I spent almost 5 minutes in the interpellation. So I'll be yielding back my time. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you po. We will now proceed to the next interpellator, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Jay Suarez. You're recognized, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Paduano, what's the
Mr.
pleasure?
Chairman, with the indulgence of Deputy Speaker JJ, may I ask a clarificatory question lang po with regards to the witness, resource persons present in today's hearing.
Yes, please continue with the
Mr.
indulgence of
Chairman,
the Honorable J.J. Suarez.
while going into this room, na-monitor ko po na yung sa OBP po, wala yung mga persons that was mentioned and invited last hearing. Particularly yung SDO po, yung Gina Acosta, at saka yung Julieta Villa del Rey, which is the chief consultant. But as Chairman Acop mentioned, may show cause na daw to ngayon. Yung dalawa. Tama po ba? Yung dalawa mismo. Yung chief accountant at saka yung SDO. Tama.
Comsec?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a motion kanina. 5 po yung inisyuhan ng show cause orders, Your Honor. It was Attorney Zulaika Ortonio Sanchez, Miss Acosta, and Miss Julieta Villa del Rey.
Now, Mr. Chairman, just to ask this question. So we cannot, the OBP, the Office of the Vice President, cannot answer queries from this representation of the members of this committee as of now? Who is the highest
Wala po kasing
official?
representative dito eh. Ang
Wala?
Office of the Vice, wala po.
Wala po ba? How about the spokesperson, which is Mr. Michael Pua?
As kanina po binanggit po ni Attorney Poa na siya po ay nandirito to represent DepEd.
You're here to represent the Fed, not the Office of the Vice President?
Mr. Chair.
Please, Attorney Poa.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair, that is correct. I am here again because I was part of the list of invitees as far as DepEd is concerned po.
How about sa OBP or not already part of the Office of the Vice President?
Wala po ako sa list ng invitees.
No, but hindi, yung official function mo ngayon.
I'm just a consultant po of
Consultant
the Office of the Vice
ng-
President. Of the Office of the Vice President.
Consultant for what?
A spokesperson po.
Spokesperson
Opo.
ng OBP.
Opo.
And you cannot answer queries from this committee with regards to the OBP confidential fund.
Mr. Chair, I'm afraid I'm really not authorized by the Vice President or anyone from the OVP to represent
But
them
with
here.
regards to the DepEd, you can answer queries? You can answer queries?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So walang OBP dito.
Kanina po may nagpakita but unfortunately nawawala na po yata. Comsec.
Chairman, is it correct that certain Monsayak is present? Is he present?
Attorney Monsayak, are you present?
Mr. Chairman, can we ask him
Ayan
to
po.
approach the microphone?
Attorney Monsayak. Do you represent the OVP?
Good afternoon, Your Honors, Mr. Chair. I do not represent the OVP. I'm a private person already, Your Honor.
You are invited in today's hearing.
Uh,
Do you receive invitation? Did you receive invitation from this committee?
Yes, Your Honor. I was part of the invitation, the list of people invited for the DepEd query.
For the DepEd na naman.
Yes, Mr.
Comsec,
Chair.
is it correct that Mr. Monsayak is invited for the DepEd query? But of course,
Comsec.
Yes,
you're
Your
part
Honor.
during this topic being discussed with regards to the OBP budget. You're still part of it, di ba? The time.
No, Your Honor. I left OVP at October 2023, and I'm not part in any way of the confidential funds issue, Your Honor.
Comsec.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman,
Your Honor. Your Honor, Attorney Reynold Monsayak was invited from the DepEd roster as Assistant Secretary for Procurement, Your Honor. Just to clarify.
Okay. Congressman Paduano.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The Chair would like to recognize the Deputy Speaker, J. Suarez. Please proceed to your interpellation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I just wanted to follow the line of questioning started by Congressman Dan Fernandez. Again, to the COA. Ma'am, magandang tanghali po sa inyo. Can you show the slide, please? Yeah. Ma'am, sinubmit po sa COA ang accomplishment report ng fiscal year 2022 sa confidential funds. Tama po ba ito?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ayon sa accomplishment report, fully spent ang 125 million. Tama po ba ito?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ito pong 125 million ay naka-breakdown into more specific items. Am I correct?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
And to enumerate how the 125 million was spent, item 1, purchase of information. Item 2, payment of reward. Item 3, rental of other incidental expenses relative to the maintenance of safe houses. Item number 4, purchase of supplies. Item number 5, provision of medical and food aid. Item number 6, payment of incentives for traveling relative to confidential operations. Is this correct?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
So, can you confirm that this is the breakdown reflected in the accomplishment report printed on the screen right now?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yan po yung nasa utilization report.
Opo. Napansin ko lang po, ma'am, na kung titignan po natin yung mga amounts, very specific, no? Whole number po siya. 14, 10, 16, 35, 40, and 10. Walang butal, ma'am? Buong buo?
Mr.
Sakto
Chair,
lahat?
dito po sa accomplishment report nila, ganyan po, buo-buo.
Buong buo, oo. Hindi ito estimate or budget, di ba? Hindi naman ito estimate or budget. Am I correct?
Yan na po yung utilized amount nila, Mr. Chair.
So what we're seeing is the liquidation actual cost. Ito po yung mga binili na medical, food aid, saktong 40 million po ang total cost and price. Am I correct?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Walang sukli, walang kulang. Tama po?
Mr. Chair, yan lang po yung contents ng utilization report po nila, Mr. Chair.
Sususugan ko lang po yung tanong ni Deputy Speaker. When you say utilize, ibig sabihin, nabili na, nagamit na. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Please continue.
Nakakapagtaka lang kasi siyempre pag kunyari mamamalengke ka, tapos nagbigay ka ng 5,000 pesos na pamalengke, usually bumabalik kasi yung mga goods nandoon at may kasamang sukle. Dito lang, sakto lang yung amount, no? Talagang buo lang siya. Matanong ko lang, ma'am, dito po sa mga napaggastusan, may kasama po ba itong mga resibo?
Mr. Chairman, po silang sinubmit na documentary evidence of payment.
Wala.
Documentary evidence of payment po.
Meron.
Meron po.
Okay. And these were already requested from your office to be submitted to the committee. Am I correct? Subpoena juice tecum kanina, no?
Hindi po yata yun kasama, Mr. Chair.
So therefore, Mr. Chair, I move that we request the same documents and I move that that said documents be submitted to the Committee on Good Government. The documents pertaining to the liquidation report with regards to item, ito na po lahat ng items siguro para mapag-aralan natin ang buo. From items A up to F, Mr. Chair.
Is there any second to the motion? Duly seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Thank you very much. So dito po ma'am, sa mga nabili pong mga medical and food aid, 40 million. Alam niyo po ba kung anong klaseng medisina at pagkain ang binili?
Wala pong information, Mr. Chair.
Wala po kayong information, so hindi po sinamit ito?
Hindi po very detailed ang documentary evidence of payment.
So there are documentary evidence that were submitted. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Are you in possession of these documentary evidence right now?
Right now, Mr. Chair, wala po.
Can you expound on these documentary evidence that you are saying that were submitted, however lacking?
Mr. Chair, that is already parts of the merits of the case, so we can only comply po through subpoena.
Okay, I therefore move, Mr. Chair, for a... No, although meron na po tayong subpoena jus tecum para sa mga documents, no? Matanong ko lang, ma'am, kanina niyo pa binabanggit yung case. Ano pong kaso itong kanina niyo pa inuulit na nababanggit?
Mr. Chair, ano pa-clarify po?
Sabi niyo po kasi this is part of a case, this is part of a case. I think you mentioned it maybe 4 or 5 times. Can I just be informed of what case you are pertaining to?
Mr. Chair, yung notice of disallowance po kasi is an audit action of COA na hindi po final. So, they have an opportunity po to appeal on to appeal the notice of disallowance. So, we cannot just divulge information about it po. Kumbaga, it's still ongoing. It's not yet final.
I understand that, but what is the case? You said there's a case. Ano yung kaso?
Mr. Chair,
Kasi when you say a case, usually it's a case filed in court, a case that's pertaining to a certain activity already in the judicial system. So what case are you pertaining to?
Mr. Chair, may I correct myself then that it is not a case, but the audit actions po of
Therefore, there's no
COA.
case, ma'am.
It is a case, pero it is civil in nature po.
Oh, admin. So and anyway,
Mr. Chairman.
yeah, but in any case,
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Mr. Chairman, I do disagree with the position of COA. Well, in fact, you were issued a subpoena notice with regards to the notice of disallowance, di ba? And you submitted it to the committee. Tama?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Oh, sinabit nyo nga yung highlights eh. All we're asking is to justify this. We're not talking about the case. We're just talking about if indeed the ND that you have all the highlights of such yung ginawa nyo with regards to the budget of OBP is indeed tama. So what's stopping you from submitting all those attachments? Kasi nandito na nga eh. Di ba?
And before you answer, just to clarify, COA, let me read the provision under the Rules of Procedure Governing Inquiries in Aid of Legislation. Section 1, Power to Conduct Inquiries, Paragraph 2 provides that the filing or pendency of a case before any court, tribunal, or quasi-judicial or administrative body shall not stop or abate any inquiry conducted to carry out a legislative purpose. So kahit po yung mga sinatawag po nating sub judice, hindi po kami covered nun. So please answer COA.
Mr. Chair,
Please
may I
identify
allow-
yourself. Attorney
Erwin Lapitan.
Attorney
Mr. Chair.
Lapitan, please continue.
Yes, Mr. Chair, i-clarify ko lang po na ang ND po ay audit decision po. It's an audit decision by the auditor po. And the nature of a notice of disallowance is civil in nature po.
There is no case yet filed.
It's actually a case before the case ay...
you cannot prosecute. Kasi kayo recommendatory lang, just like this committee.
Yes, we agree, Mr. Chair,
Diba?
that we don't have the authority to
Also,
prosecute.
what's stopping you from giving us all those attachments?
Mr. Chair, it
Just
may
to
affect...
sandali.
Yes.
Tapusin mo ako, Chairman. What's stopping
Yes,
you
continue.
from giving all those attachments being requested by this committee? What will influence you?
Mr. Chair, it may affect the adjudication process by the commission proper. And
Sandali.
yes, Mr.
Sandali. Isa-isahin po natin. Ano yung first reason nyo? Isa-isahin muna natin. It will affect the adjudication of the commission proper.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
In what manner?
Of course, Mr. Chair, the commission, the COA has a constitutional power to adjudicate. Therefore, any information that may affect its adjudication procedures or processes, and considering that the notice of disallowance is not yet final, then
But you know, inquiries in aid of legislation, kailangan namin dito mga dokumento. Now, eto, notice of disallowance, di ba? And di nyo, eto yung highlights. Oh, how can you justify to us if you cannot submit
yes.
the attachments and the documents that gives the result of this notice of disallowance? Simply, oh, it cannot influence
Yes, Mr.
the commission proper.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will comply upon issuance of the subpoena.
Hindi, nag-issue na nga eh.
Yes.
Di ba, Mr. Chairman, nag-issue na nga?
Yes,
Yes,
we already...
Hindi, ang hindi ko lang ma-accept, yung reasoning nyo na it will affect the possible decision of the commission proper because well, in fact, sabi ko nga kaya nung nakaraan pa, it will take 6 months, di ba? Tama, 6 months, di ba? Before it goes through with commission proper, di ba?
Mr.
Kasi
Chair,
may-
the appeal process,
Kaya nga may appeal because of the appeal, di ba? Now, ang hindi ko maintindihan, but yung sasabihin, you will give that reason na you cannot submit because it will affect. Well, in fact, I talked to your chairman yesterday, and it is not a valid reason. And please don't push me to invite your chairman dito. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very